Welcome, welcome, welcome. You've made it in. This class is for anyone who wants to be a public speaker, who is already doing work in the field, or someone that wants to break into the field and understand how to better articulate in front of people. It'd be for the manager, the boss, the CEO that wants to be able to develop a strategy on how to approach speaking to their audience. You're going to learn in this presentation how to present with focus, clarity, and excellence. So let's go. Let's dive right in. How to immediately capture your audience's attention. How to immediately get their attention. So if you're backstage and the announcer calls your name, you're walking on stage, hearing the applause, getting excited. What are the first words that are going to come out of your mouth? I've talked in front of hundreds and thousands, talked in front of few and many. And one thing that is consistent with whoever I talk in front of, whenever I'm able to speak in front of people, it's clear that I have to make sure that my tone communicates my passion. People only receive what you're passionate about. So research was done, and it shows that nowadays we don't even pay attention to boring things like monotone sounds. They don't faze us. I was laughing about being on the airplane some time ago, traveling, and I was on the airplane and a baby was just crying and screaming. And the mother was just sitting there as if it didn't matter to her at all. Because she's like, everybody else was like, oh my gosh, I can't take it. But the mother was just like relaxed. Because tones that are not new to us, tones that are not exciting to us, we kind of block them out. We kind of forget about what we're hearing. Like that mom did with the baby crying. We'll hear somebody talking in a monotone. After a few minutes after hearing that tone, we're just like, oh, I'm done. So first thing you need to do, you need to make sure your alignment is straight. Your greatest tool as a public speaker is your voice. Every time you address an audience, your mind, your body, they must be in alignment with your voice. It's like it's acting as a partnership between you, your voice, your body, where you're all working together to communicate this idea, this thought, this method, this strategy. We're all coming together to give you a presentation. Your listeners don't just hear your voice, but if your listeners are visual, they are looking at your participation. They're seeing your motions, your actions, your ideologies based on how you smile or how you hold a stern face at a pivotal moment in your presentation, or how you escalate your vocal cords to hit a sound that gets the attention of everybody in the room. Every piece of your speech is interacting with all three parts, and you have to use it all together. Your body, your mind, your voice must be aligned in one. Because in certain parts of your presentation, you may just be giving information. It might be an informational section. After the informational section, you can jump into a section where you are talking extemporaneously or from experience on how that information affects you personally. And when you talk about what affects you personally, it should change the tone. It should change the atmosphere of the room, because now you're not just giving information, but now you're telling them from personal experience what affected you. So you have to work on your tone. We want to work on our tone. This is one of the main things you want to do. Do some tone lessons. I would advise record yourself giving a 3-minute, 2-minute speech on any topic. I tell you, I will start talking about topics that interest me, because that's how I know where my tone is. And pick a topic that interests you, whether it's cars, the Bible, healthy eating, whatever it is that interests you, whether it's a topic on marriage, on finances, whatever interests you. Take 2 to 3 minutes and record yourself talking about that topic. Record yourself explaining what that topic means to you. And then listen to the tones of your voice. Hear what your excitement level sounds like when you're excited about a piece. Because understand this, one of your goals as a speaker should be to develop a voice that is, let's go through these. First, pleasant. Your voice has to be pleasant, conveying a sense of warmth, natural reflection, your true personality and sincerity. You have to speak from the essence of you. You have to speak from the bottom of your heart. What are you talking about if it doesn't mean anything to you? If you can't relate to the topic, then your audience will never relate to the topic. The only way I can relate to a topic is if I feel your desire or your passion or your love for or your determination to influence. Another one is the dynamics, giving impressions of force and strength. I'll give you an example. When I'm up talking to a group of educated professionals, whenever I talk about their skill set, I get excited. I give strength to that because it's empowering to them. And it should be because they've gone through a lot to get what they've got. So I take time to really push those points. Hey guys, listen, you are educated professionals. You're skilled craftsmen. You're amazing women and men. You're awesome at what you do. I make sure they understand my passion for their excellence. The next one is being expressive. When you're portraying various shades of meaning, never ever being monotonous or without emotion, always talking, even when you're just giving information, even when you're just saying a few words, never without emotion. It always is backed with some form of emotion. Because no emotion from you means no attention from them. Last but not least, you must be easily heard. Every word that comes out of your mouth has to be heard. When speaking in large groups, I always make sure my microphones are very, very crisp, very strong. I really work on my audio sounds before I start because I want to make sure they hear me. But even more than that, and we'll talk about that more in detail, but even more than that, it is clear that most people only pay attention to what they can hear. The moment they do not hear you, you've lost their attention. They'll try to get it for a second, but after a while, they'll disconnect. So you have to make sure you're properly set in your volumes, and you have to make sure your articulation of words is very clear. I make sure, even when I'm speaking in front of people, I purposely speak slower in front of an audience than I do face to face. Practice speaking slower with more intention in front of an audience than you would with a one-on-one face to face. Another point about your tone is your breath. Your breath produces your voice. How you breathe produces your voice. So deep controlled breathing is necessary for good vocal production. Your voice is supported by a column of air. Sometimes you get so excited, you get up and you just, yeah, man, and what's that? And you just get so excited. You get into a part of your presentation and it's really exciting. I know, trust me, I know what those exciting moments feel like when you feel like you're just knocking it out and you're doing your thing and you're working that speech. But you have to make sure, even when you're doing that, that you make sure you're breathing properly. Think of the diaphragm as the foundation of your words. Breath comes out as an upward motion and it comes out your mouth, and there we go. It's like you're producing something great every time.